And welcome back. Comedian Chris Redd joins us now ahead of his performances this weekend at the Blue Room Comedy Club. Chris, thank you for being here. How are you?
I'm good. I was just trying to decide how I was going to sit and then I saw myself
and then you're like,
make a decision. I'm like, oh.
No, the more relaxed, the better.
Yeah,
yes.
you know what I'm saying? Just what's up?
You make yourself
at
home.
down.
Absolutely. You do whatever you need to do. All right, Chris, tell us, how'd you get your start in comedy, and why has that always been so important to you?
I got my start in comedy because I failed everything else. I started in, I was in music before. You know, I tried sports until I stopped growing. And, comedy has always been something that's been a part of my life. I've always listened to, like, dope comedians like Chris Rock, Richard Pryor, all those guys. And I would steal my dad's records all the time. But when it came down to, like, me leaving music, I was like, man, I got to, instead of going back to school, I had to figure out, like, what talent can I capitalize on?
Sure.
And I hosted this, I hosted some competitions, and I started roasting people in the audience, and it worked. Like, there's this one guy who had, like, nunchucks, and he had a whole nunchuck performance.
Oh, I thought you meant in the audience.
No,
I was like, why did that guy have nunchucks?
No, I think it's like a guy just...
I'd be roasting him too, yeah.
No, but he was a dude who had, like, a nunchuck performance for, like, 3 minutes, and he was, like, but he was hitting himself the whole time. And he was just, and I was like, man, that's the only ninja that can beat up himself and you at the same time. And like 300 people laughed, and I was like, man, maybe I should figure out how to make this happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so has, like, just making people laugh always been the goal for you then?
Well, it's made me comfortable in spaces.
Okay.
You know, I have anxiety and some other issues. So growing up, I was real introverted. And so in order to feel comfortable, I just would make people laugh, and as soon as I saw that, then I could like just ease in.
Yeah.
And there's also a way to talk to girls too, so
that always helps.
That always helps. Yeah.
Now, I gotta ask, because I feel like you're probably instantly recognizable to people as a guy from SNL. What's it like coming off of that, where you're in the same place, like, you know, playing to an audience that you don't necessarily know how they're responding, to now you're live and you're able to roast people in the audience? Like, what's that like?
Well, I've always roasted people. Now they just know where it's coming from. You know, it's different in the way that, like, I've had to kind of train audiences that, like, people expect SNL me, which that was like 5 minutes a week, and not really all of what I do.
Sure.
And I was doing stand-up before I was doing sketch, so. It's just kind of showing people that I'm a very multifaceted person when it comes to comedy, and I do a lot more things. So I'm not gonna be like a jukebox. So basically, I'm not. People like come to the show like, do Kanye. I'm like, he's doing enough. You know, what I mean?
Retweet, yeah.
Yeah. I don't really do impressions. I feel like I've said it in so many interviews, and people just don't believe me. I mean, I love impressions now because of the show.
Sure.
But that's not really where I come from when I'm doing stand-up.
So is that something you had to figure out while you were on the show? Like, oh, I guess they need me to do another impression. Like, that wasn't a talent that you already knew you had?
Well, I could do impressions. It was more interesting for me to do impressions of people I know and people that really affect me more than it was to just do a famous person. And coming up in Chicago, it's in Chicago comedy, doing impressions was like a circus trick, you know, to us. And I now see the dedication and the skill set that comes with that. I always saw it, but I guess I respect it on a whole nother level now. And I do have fun with it when it's still like a person that, like a Mayor Adams, or like somebody who really makes me laugh.
Yeah.
But like, it's just not a thing that, like, I don't care to have 300 impressions. You know what I mean? That's just not my thing. I'd much rather like tell 1,000 jokes in a narrative way and just bring people together and just improvise and just, there's a bunch of other things.
Yes, yeah, I feel like that makes a lot of sense. So, okay, also this past fall you released an HBO Max special. So what was that like for you?
That was a dream come true, man. It was a culmination of 14 years of comedy, and it was with a company that I've been watching comedy on for years, you know. I mean, it was the Max version, but it was still HBO. And yeah, it was a dream, man. They didn't have any notes at all. They kind of just let me do what I do, and I got to go back to St. Louis, where I was born, and like, it was just, everything felt good, and people were able to come up from Mississippi and Chicago. It was just like a big celebration, you know. And
absolutely.
Yeah, I was proud of it.
All right, real fast, tell us what's next for you.
Man, some movies. I'm touring right now. I'm getting the new hour together, you know, and I got some shows, you know, in the works. Nothing I can really. I'll come back when I can say.
There
some more
you go.
stuff
We
about
appreciate it.
But I'm not leaving TV just yet.
Okay.
You know?
Where
That's
do
good
people
to know.
find you on social media so they can follow along with you past this weekend?
I am chrisred.com. I don't know. I'm staring right here. I'm just staring at nothing.
That's okay. That's all right.
I don't really know. I'm trying to like, where do I look? I am chrisred.com.
Okay.
Instagram, Chris Red is. It's Chris Red is, not Chris Redis. A lot of people. When I started my Instagram, I said, "Oh, Chris Red is. That's clever because like, I am doing this."
Right.
But now they think my name is Chris Redis, and that's stupid. That's
I love it.
Stupid name. Unless you're a Redis.
Well, and then there you go. Yeah. Well, full transparency.
There's some guy out
yeah.
there that's like, I can't believe he got the Instagram handle before I did.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. And this morning when I read your Instagram name, I was like, oh, Chris Redis. That's exactly how I read it. So
exactly.
you know.
So this is my tour to tell everybody my name is Chris Redis.
Read it. Okay, I love it.
Well,
All right.
you can find him at Blue Room
Yes,
Comedy.
Chris, we appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Well,
This was
thank
awesome.
you guys so much, man. That blazer is sick.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Well, coming up, we've got a live in studio performance.
Dylan Haston is here when we return.